All right, I think we're live. So,
Yes,
all
sir.
right,
Yes.
we're here, babe, with Dub Washington, man. I'm pumped for this. Let's go. I appreciate you making some time today. Episode 8 of the Lenny Poliziani show. So we've had a variety of guests on here. We've had some mindset, real estate, different business avenues, finances, and I think everybody's going to get some value out of today's show. So, Dub, I'll let you introduce yourself. I know you got a lot going on, a lot of businesses and mentorships, education. So why don't you give everybody a little bit of a background?
Me personally, I come from humble beginnings, man. I am fairly new to the entrepreneurial space. I just started out my businesses July of last year, so I'm not even a year in.
You would never know.
Yeah, man. I came in, and the thing that I've learned along the way is that you have to get in the right rooms, invest in yourself, get mentors. That has
Mm,
been the number one thing that I've learned through this whole journey that I've taken. When I first jumped in, bro, I spent around, I want to say last year, I just spent around 50 grand just on obtaining knowledge between courses and mentors, or just different things like that to help me level up to the next level. But like I say, bro, I come from humble beginnings. I just
mm,
started out, and everybody know my craft. You know what I'm saying, which is the MS. So
yep.
using that to leverage up your business, putting these high spend on your credit cards and things like that, helping to raise those limits. Because now, in the time that we're going into over these next 18 months, with this, some people say that the recession is coming. I feel like it's here.
Mm,
But if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready by just going in, having
mm,
that, yeah, absolutely, by going in, having that mentality, like I'm going to prepare me and my family to be able to withhold or withstand against anything that comes, bro. That's going to be very key over these next few months, bro. So
mm,
definitely, bro, tap in. Like I say, get you a mentor, invest
mhm,
in yourself, invest in information, because once again, this is information that we've not been taught, because our
mhm.
parents done the thing that they knew best, which is go to work, go to school, which I'm not. I graduated from South Carolina State University with a
Yep.
4-year degree in business management. But the age and time of going to college, you know what I'm saying, and doing all of that, man, that's kind of over with, because you can get you a mentor and get just as much value as a college professor. I'd rather learn from a millionaire versus someone who's getting paid around 30 or 40 grand to teach you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how you went into that, and I think people are starting to open their eyes. I went to college too. I went to West Virginia University with Bryant, how we originally got introduced. But times are different now, and I think people are seeing writings on the wall. But also, um, while we're on the mentorship thing, how we're connected. I'm in your mentorship. I'm in the Reinvented mentorship. I mean, if you want financial literacy and how to learn about anything credit, fixing your credit, building your credit, getting approved for credit, business structure, I mean, you're the man. So that is stuff that, if you go to college and take whatever courses, I got a business degree as well, they don't dive into that.
No.
They'll teach you how to be an employee, which is fine, but I was in the corporate world for a little while before this, and you're stuck, and if you're happy and everything, that's great, but it's very limited, and I felt lost, and I'm like, I paid all this money, to go to school, and they didn't teach me how to survive, live. I got into a field I wasn't even studying, and so my job wasn't even related to that, and
Mhm.
like you said, times are different, and I think you have more opportunity, more flexibility with technology. You can tap into anything, man. So that's how we're on our path. I feel like we see the opportunity, and why don't you take a step back and what because I like digging into stuff. So when did that hit you? What was the moment when you're like, hey, I gotta go out there, do it on my own, or this isn't for me. I gotta go down a different path.
I was actually at work. I came across a podcast, $1 million worth of game podcast. I was listening to. I had my AirPods in. I'm around driving a forklift at work, bro.
And what year was this?
Last year,
Okay.
yeah,
Dang.
last year. So, and I hear a guy, him 500. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yes, sir, yes, sir. So I hear
The
a guy,
boss, bro.
yes, sir, on a podcast. and he's talking that talk that I can relate to. So I'm listening to it and I'm like, wait, I got to go to my desk and I have to sit down and actually get a visual on this. So I went and sat down, at my desk, and I was watching the actual interview. And then he came and then he was expressing the importance of building out your credit, having good credit. And at the time, I mean, my credit was decent, but I wasn't doing anything with it. And that's similar to having bad credit or no credit, is having good credit and not leveraging it to, elevate you to the next level. So I'm hearing it and I'm like, wait, I have to dig more into this guy. So I've invested into the $500 mentorship that he had, which is, basic level. And then I went into the recession proof extreme. Once I got in there and I seen all the ways that you can leverage your credit to level up, it was game over from there. So I hit the ground running. And another thing is just not the information that you get when you join a mentorship, but it's the people, the like-minded individuals that you run across whenever you join these mentorships. So I connected with a lot of people, went out to build my brand, bro, and it literally just took off, man. When I made in a month what I would have made in a year at my W-2 job, that's exactly whenever I knew that I was in the right space.
Dude, I mean, I keep forgetting that it hasn't even been a year yet since you've made that transition. Like I said, dude, you would never know. I mean, you literally hit the ground running. And when did you quit your W-2?
It was August. Well, I went on leave at first because I had my children, I had 2 toddlers, and then I was watching them. So I went on leave. And whenever I left from there, I was actually, making more money at home than I would have been at work for my business, for my LLC. So I was like, bro, like what's going on here? So I tapped into it, man. And I was like, this is something that I need to study. I started with my personal credit, seeing different ways that I could leverage it. And we already know with the MS that we do, bro.
Yeah.
I tapped into that field, and then I just started building out credit limits, bro. Just to fast forward a little bit, I've been able to obtain over $1 million in available credit.
Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Amazing, bro.
It's crazy whenever you apply the knowledge, because it's one thing to get the knowledge, but applied knowledge is even more dangerous.
True. Taking action.
Yes, sir.
The definition of it, bro. Dude, I'm pumped. I'm proud of you too, man. And when you first got into it, because I know there's so many different avenues within credit that you can go, and businesses you can build around that, like you said, 90% of the people don't know about. What was the first, I guess, way you were able to make money in the business field? Was it repairing credit? What was it?
I started off repairing credit because so many people around us, they don't even realize the power of credit. And we're taught, hey, well, I have cash. Cash is king. That's the number one, it couldn't be more further from the truth. It's old school. But once again, that's what our elders were taught. So, that's what they were passing on to us. But like I say, once you tap into this different field, man, and you meet these people and apply this knowledge, it's amazing. So yeah, I definitely started off repairing credit. I fixed my family's credit, close relatives and things. Started from there.
Awesome.
That's exactly where it started from.
Yeah. And I love it because we have similar backgrounds in that, and it's nobody's fault. It's just we don't have to go to the library to learn things anymore, and that's where I need people to wake up. If you're out there, you're not happy, you have resources, and it's a different world. Because I was taught the same thing. I was scared to death of credit. I had good credit, very conservative. I knew the importance of it, or just to protect it. But, I was basically taught to stay away from it only when you need it. And you better not have any debt on your name and any of that. I'm like, how do you get ahead in life? I mean, I'm stuck making a certain amount of cash. I'm deathly afraid. I don't understand credit, but I see other people doing it. I don't really get it. And I'm like, there has to be other ways. So me, naturally, I mean, I went on YouTube, obviously in the real estate space, credit, and leveraging and getting lended monies all over the place. So it was a natural path to find out more about the power of credit. And, we haven't taken as much action as you in the credit space, but I mean, just when our eyes opened up to it and MSing, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But, I've built over, probably a little under 400,000 in business credit, and it's when I realized the difference between personal credit and business credit, that's when I'm like, whew,
Amazing,
it's
mind
out
blowing,
there, man.
mind blowing.
Yeah, it's out there, and it's relatively easy to get, as long as, and that's the importance of having good personal credit. And I was fortunate to start out with good personal credit. I didn't have to build that up, but yeah, man, it's powerful stuff. So I like to get into mindset as well. So I guess throughout your journey, I mean, you've always, you sound like somebody that's always been looking for more. Or, I don't know if you've always wanted to go out on your own, you just didn't know what it was. But mindset wise, what do you think, you on the path to believe in yourself, or take the risks that you have to go out on your own and do this?
Just wanting more, bro. And
Yeah.
to be quite honest with you, bro, I'm a 7-time convicted felon. So I come from, typical background in our
Hmm.
community. We go out and we do different things. And once again, I don't regret any of that because they molded me into the man that I am today. Had I not made certain decisions, I wouldn't have the mindset that I have now. So yeah, definitely mindset is one of the most important things because
Mm.
I'm pretty sure you've heard the saying, what you tune into tunes your mental.
Hmm.
So yes, I got around these like-minded individuals, and just them showing me different avenues, streams of income, definitely had a huge impact on my mental. Like I took the information, I applied it, and took off. But yeah, bro, it's so many times to where we be around certain people and they want the best for us, even our closest friends and family. They're there to protect you. So whenever I said that I was going to invest 3,500 or 5,000 into a financial literacy course, they like, you going what? You're going to give someone some money that you don't have any guaranteed returns off of. But once again, I go back to say that that was the best decision that I ever made, because you get like how me and you met, bro. Like we're in mentorships together and you
Yep.
meet these people,
Yep.
and the relationships that you build is amazing, bro.
Yep. Yep. And I'd say, I was always curious. I wanted more. I saw other people having success. I don't get jealous or envy of people, but I'm like, we're the same. Why are they doing it and I'm not? And I've had self belief, and I, the only thing that held me back sometimes, um, what's the worst that could happen? That's like my new motto. What's really the worst that could happen? If you really want to be happy, you're not happy right now, go take that chance you
Absolutely.
know, as long as you know that you can work hard at it, and don't be afraid to fail. And I think maybe, I could be wrong, but a lot of your, mistakes or lessons, over the years, taught you, like, you knew the right path to go down, but you weren't afraid to take risks and lose, because, what's the worst that could happen at this point? You could only get better.
Absolutely. And then I want to ask the people a question. Do you know the number one regret of people whenever they're lying on their deathbed?
What is it?
Not taking the chances that they wish they would have.
Yep. Yep. What book was it, or what saying is it? There's like a ghost. It's like the potential, or who you could have been, looking down at you on your deathbed.
Oh, that's deep right there.
Yeah, yeah, looking at you, and that's what you could have been, or that was your full potential, your best self.
Oh
The
my,
only thing you had to do was go out there, try, take risks,
absolutely.
make mistakes.
Make mistakes. That's life.
That haunts me, bro.
Yeah, bro. I never thought about that, bro. But that's very deep, bro. It's
Your
actually,
ghost.
yeah, seeing your ghost and looking down at yourself on your deathbed, and you're sitting there like, I wanted to go out and be a doctor, or I wanted to go out and be an entrepreneur. I wanted to go out and invest into it,
Mm.
but I never did it because I was afraid of the result. Mm.
What's the worst that could happen? You fail. And what is the number one thing you hear from, him 500, whoever your mentors are, the most successful people in the world? They say, I just failed more than you.
Mm. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's some naturally very intelligent people out there. We know them, Elon Musk, and they listen. His brain's different, bro.
Yeah,
But for the most part, I mean, most of the people we look up to, they might have been doing this for way longer than us. But what does that accumulate? That's more failures, and
absolutely.
that's why they're it's not complicated.
And then that's why that's why we invested them to be near them to learn from them,
Learn
because
from their mistakes, bro.
mentorships are shortcuts.
Yep. Yep. And the power of network, bro, and you realizing that in such a short amount of time. I've been out on my own for 2 years, so you start, I got a year on you with, being in this space and everything. But I'll admit, man, I mean, maybe it was like I can do it on my own because that's how I thought at first. Like, you go out on your own, prove it, do it on your own. But man, you need to be around people, and you can scale and get to where you want to be so much quicker. You don't got to work hard. Hard work. I mean, listen, you got to hustle and you got to build in the beginning, but there's a way to be smart about that too. And if people have the answers, or you're in the right room with those people that are going to motivate you, man, you're going to get to where you want to be in half the amount of time.
Absolutely, bro. And then we hear in the credit space, we hear a lot of the times OPM. A lot of people associate OPM with other people's money, but that's not always the case. It's also other people's mindset.
Yep. Because OPM, other people's,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what we base our business off of, but it's other people's mindset. And unfortunately, a lot of the mainstream stuff, I don't watch the news. I tune out all of that stuff.
You don't get any benefit from watching the news.
What value, man? Why?
Paid programming. That's exactly all the news is paid programming. It's there to program your mind.
Yeah. And I used to preach, or friend, like whoever, and I saw them just getting hooked on the wrong stuff. You can't force anybody to do anything, but if it's affecting, it hurts, because they're just tuning into the wrong stuff, negative stuff. It's like crabs in a bucket. They just, the mainstream media and certain people just want to hold you back, or keep you in a depressive state. I don't know what it's, controlling, or who knows, but there's so much positivity, and people like going towards the right direction if you just look a little past that. And I'm fortunate that I realized that, because growing up, it was just what was on TV was it, man. You lived your world by that. Well, you think the world's burning down every day, and
yep. And then it goes back to what you previously said, King. It's just about what you tune into, because more than likely, what you tune into, what entertains you, trains you. I'm pretty sure we've all heard that before. Literally, what entertains you trains you. So what you're using for your entertainment, you could be using that to level up. I made a post, and I got a lot of backlash behind it, because it's the NBA Finals. I know a lot of NBA fans, a lot of sports fans out here.
Bryant loves the Celtics, bro.
Yeah. But I said, the 3 hours that you're taking to watch this basketball game, whenever I pick up this book and read, I've just elevated over you, and I got 3 hours in advance over you. And I got a lot of backlash behind it. It was like, my brother hit me up. He was like, bro, we can't watch TV or go to work, right? And I'm like, bro, just be careful how you spend your time.
Yeah, and you like the NBA. I see you going to games and everything. It's not like you don't like it, but I mean, bro, like, you gotta pass that instant gratification. I mean, listen, we all fight it. I fight making the wrong decisions every day. Like, it's not like we're perfect at all, but I watch my time now, and I'm looking at the future, and what I want, and it's very attainable, in a short amount of time. You just got a time block, and hey, listen, what you're investing in right now or digesting, is that going to bring value to you in any form? And that's why I kind of scaled back on sports. And I love sports, watch football, basketball, baseball. But, a lot of people, put their life around watching sports. It's all it is, man. And you're watching somebody else succeed or win. And whether it's my competitiveness or I wasn't getting anything out of it, and I realized that, but I'm like, dude, like, I got to spend my time a little more wisely, man. I can't be watching other people win. I got to win.
Absolutely. Okay, because once again, it's one thing to watch them on TV, but instead, we're gonna get you out here next time at Boston. Come to Atlanta, we're gonna get you courtside, bro.
Man. I tried linking with you. I was only there for a couple of days, but
yeah, we definitely gonna
bro.
We're gonna lock in, bro. So next year, whenever they come out here, bro, we got courtside tickets, King.
That'd be dope. Yes, dope. And hey, I'm moving to Tampa Labor Day weekend, so you need a spot in Florida. We got the Florida, we got the beach. I'm coming up courtside. We got a lot of good shit going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
That'd be dope. but yeah, man, I'm glad we're on the same page with that, and being in the right networks. I mean, when you're in this space, everybody's got the same mindset, direction, and everybody's just trying to bring everybody higher.
Yep.
That's the beauty of it, man, and help each other out. It's the go-giving mentality. Nobody's holding back information. Whatever you want to learn financially, mindset wise, I mean, it's out there. And whether you want to start out getting free content, bro, go look at Instagram. My Instagram, this is huge. My Instagram completely changed. I follow, only, business, financials, people, my mentors, and I got rid of a lot of the garbage. And dude, social media is a great source right now.
Absolutely, bro. And you hit the nail on the head with that. I literally went through and cleaned my social media till I had 0 followers. And then I started back over with people that I wanted to be in tune with, where I wanted to see my life at, people that were on the same wavelength as me. That's very, very key right there.
Yeah. And listen, I love social media.
It can also be a burden on you because you could literally have the shade room. No shade to the shade room, but you can have the shade room on there and they're pumping information out to you that you then go and research and who's has drama with who. That's not beneficial to your life at all. But then you tap into Lenny, you know what I'm saying? You tap into your social media, bro. That is a gem in itself, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that's the thing, man. The more I get in the space, one, I'm receiving knowledge, but I'm giving it too. I mean, so it's running through me, and dude, that opened my eyes when I'm like, yo, I don't have to like get rid of a lot of stuff, but just be intentional with how you're using it, man. It could be a positive source, man, and connections, networking, education, man. It doesn't have to be a waste of time. You're looking at dumbass videos all day.
Bro.
And I just started really getting on that wave.
And it's tough, and you're gonna lose a lot of people along this journey, bro. That's one of the most. I can say that it's the most hurtful because you actually want to see your closest people with you win.
Yeah,
they don't have the mindset, and they just don't have. They're not in tune with themselves like you are.
I'm sure you can say this still right now. Your strangers are my best friend right now, man. Like,
oh man, absolutely.
Yep, and that's totally fine. But I had a hard time, kind of on this topic, letting go of the my recent self, because I mean I don't know. I'm 29. I'll be 30 in August, and conditioning of 27, 28 years of and growing up around certain influences and everything like that. Like, it's hard to let go of your old self, and it only slows you down. So making a huge change, really watching who I'm around, our networks and everything like that. Like, we're totally doing a switch. So I personally, I don't know about you, but I had a little bit of a tough time letting go of the stuff I knew I needed to let go of.
Absolutely. I'm right with you, King.
Yeah. So I think that was huge. Once I could fully accept it, I'm like, bro, like, this is the path. This is what's going to be my best self. That's when, and this only happened pretty recently within the last 6 months. That's where I'm like, dude, like, this is me, man. Like, I'm fully accepting, and this is the right way to go. So, yeah, bro, it's been awesome, man, for personal growth, financials, everything, being in this space. Let's dive in a little bit with, I guess, your specialties, bro, your mentorship and manufactured spending, credit. Why don't you give some game out for anybody looking to, I guess, get into and take advantage of what they have within credit? They don't know anything about it. What would be the first thing you would tell them?
I recommend to leverage your credit. So once again, I'm fairly new into the entrepreneurial space. So I came in, and once I established my credit, I was at a space to where I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to do real estate. I didn't know if I wanted to do Airbnb. I didn't know if I wanted to do Turo. I didn't know if I wanted to do trucking, because there's so many different available options to us whenever you get tapped into the right network. So I was sitting at a standstill, and I was like, okay, I have to get some type of income coming in. And that's where manufactured spending came in at. And then we already know the power of manufactured spending and just using it to leverage your credit to build your credit limits. Because you're running these plays, and you're building out your credit limits. And what's going to happen is, as these credit card issuers see that you're putting these high spend on your credit cards, naturally they're going to raise your limits. Because some of you that's watching this, you may have a $10,000 credit limit, right? and you may spend $2,000 a month and you pay it off to $0 balance. You're spending the 2,000 of your $10,000 balance, and then you actually need more credit, but then you go to apply for it and then they deny you. They're denying you because you're not putting spin, you're not maxing this credit card out.
Why would you need more? You're only spending 2,000 a month.
You're only spending 2,000 a month. So I want to, that's very powerful in itself right there, is max these credit cards out and be very responsible, because with this technique that we've learned, it's very dangerous if you don't have the right mindset, because you're having a lot of cash come into your account. And if you're, once again, if you don't have the right mindset and you're not financially responsible, you can get buried in debt.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And you know, I only had one credit card till very recently. It was personal, and I was that person. You know, I spend it, pay it all off, and applied. I think it was a Capital One venture card, and I couldn't get my credit limit past like $10,000. I'm like, I have perfect credit. Like, what the heck, guys? Like, come on. And and then once this is MS and just in the credit world open up, I'm like, that totally makes sense. So, you know, and I only knew about personal credit. I thought if you had a business, you'd get a line of credit, you know, something totally, I didn't know about business credit cards and all that. What would you recommend as far as, you know, MSing and everything? Would you recommend them starting with one of their personal cards, or what would be the best route to go?
Yeah, I recommend starting with your personal, because not everybody had the access to information that we have with starting a business. So you could literally start with your personal, build out your personal, because you need to have high limits across the board. Because once again, over these next 12 to 18 months, we're about to get on very, very dark times. The more available credit that you have, that's essentially like a lifeline for you. Because let's just say that you go out and lose your job. These jobs are going to be cutting back. If you go out and lose your job and then you don't have, what are you going to live off of if you don't have any credit? And I'm not saying to go and live off of your credit, but if you lose your job and that's all you kind of have a lifeline right there to keep you afloat, especially with using these manufactured spending techniques.
Yep.
I would recommend starting out with your personal. And even on the personal side, man, I'm about to give a few gems to everyone. You can literally go and get credit cards without them doing a hard pull on your credit, such as the Apple card, such as the Tomo card, such as the Marcus card. And how you're going to do this is you're going to go in, you're going to, anyone that has Apple, you can go in, apply for this Apple card, and they're going to give you a pre-approval with your limit up there. Apple is going to pull, because they are Synchrony Bank, they're going to pull from TransUnion. TransUnion is one of the three credit card three of the bureaus, right? So by you knowing what credit card pull from each bureau is going to maximize the funding that you get. So now, once you go in and freeze your TransUnion profile, which that's who Apple pulls from, you go in and accept that credit card. Now, once you get either approved or denied for it, your credit report is locked, so they can't do a hard pull on it, and you literally could get a line of credit. Available credit up to $10,000 to $20,000 with no hard pull on your credit. You run the same exact play with Marcus, which is a GM card. You literally run it the same play with them, and now you have $20,000 to $30,000, assuming that your credit profile is properly structured. You have $20,000 to $30,000 in available credit with not one hard pull on your profile.
Mind blown.
Crazy, bro.
They don't teach that. They don't teach that anywhere.
They don't teach that anywhere. You can't learn this in college.
No. It's powerful stuff. And how would somebody, and we'll keep it really basic here, 101, how would somebody find out, in their area, and maybe you can answer this question because I'm not totally sure. Does it, for where they pull from, does it matter? Does it change depending on location or region in the country for each card, or does each credit company usually pull from the same one?
It's going to vary. And then you could go to creditboards.com. And then you could also go to creditpools.com. These are resources that I rely on, and I go and look at them for just data points. You literally going to have people on there, real life people, that's going to go in and tell you whatever state they're in, the data points. And what I mean by data points, it meaning what their credit report looks like. They may say, hey, I have a 679 on my TransUnion, a 680 on my Equifax, and a 720 on my Experian. My debt to income is 100, 120,000. They're going to literally lay out their data points, and they're going to tell you whenever they apply for whichever credit card where they pull from.
Boom. Easy enough, man. Just a little bit of effort, but dude, once you do it, it's a system, and you can I mean, it's unlimited. You know, if you structure this the right way. I mean, look at you, bro. Less than a year and you got over $1 million worth of credit.
Crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if somebody really looks into it, I mean, they, you know, I know your mentorship, but I mean, there's education out there. I mean, I just see it on my Instagram all day, people teaching this stuff. So it's out there to learn, man. And like you said, especially with everything coming up, um, this is huge to have a backup, you know, or a resource at least to get by and be responsible about it. But you know, if you need that you know, that raft, you know, to hold on to for a little while, I mean, credit could be your best friend.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And once again, you're going to use credit to put it into assets, not liabilities. Assets that can generate income over and over and over again.
I hope the people caught that.
Yeah, I mean that's very important, because once again, I see a lot of people. That's why I tell people whenever they first meet me and they learn these methods that I teach, is it can get very dangerous, because you have a lot of money and then you see this Burberry jacket that you've been wanting for forever and you could never afford it, and then you go out and get it because you have available credit. That's not the right way to do it.
I was gonna say they're half manufacturer spending. They're keeping the products.
That's not
That's not the point.
no, absolutely not.
That's a slippery slope.
Yes, sir.
So say somebody's run the plays, they're doing everything, you know, they want to, but now, I mean, I love business credit. They want to transition over, you know, instead of, you know, everything on their personal, they want a business credit. What would you recommend as far as, you know, setting up a business, you know, general business, business consulting structure? What did you do? I mean, how did you transition into business credit?
Business consulting. You don't
Yep.
never want to be in a restricted industry or any type of industry that's going to get you limited funding. You want to do something that's very generic, that you'll be able to sit down whenever you go open up these checking accounts with the banks, and then they don't look at you as high risk.
Hmm.
So yeah, I structured that with business consulting, business coaching, things like that, because that's a very broad area that you could do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you do that all day long, man. I mean, you know, preaching education. I mean, you have your mentorship now. So it is very simple to set up an LLC, business consulting, and run the place through that. And what are the main benefits? I mean, I guess the main differences between personal credit and business credit.
Oh man, it's amazing. First off, with business credit, you're gonna get 3 to 4 times the limits that you're gonna get on the personal side. Not to mention, whenever you get these high limits, you can use this as capital for your investments, meaning that you can get this business credit card, this business line of credit. You take the money, you're gonna invest into real estate, fix and flips. You're gonna invest in Airbnb, whatever it is
Mhm.
that you so may choose. You get to invest in these opportunities, and it doesn't affect your personal credit at all. So
Yep.
yeah, that's the main thing why everybody tell you to get into business credit, because you're able to leverage it to make passive income without affecting your personal credit.
Yep. And that was eye opening for me, and being in the real estate space, you know, because you know, they're when you have a personal credit card, you know, they track how much spending, you know, and the ratio, I guess, to your credit limit. And, your credit score can decrease if you keep a high credit, you know, on there for a while, past statements. So the only thing you need is a good credit score personally to personal guarantee a business credit card.
Yes, sir.
Um, so that's when I learned that, and when I got approved, I'm like, okay. But the main difference was you can keep a high balance on a business credit card, and a lot of the business credit cards that I go after have 0% interest for 16 months, 18 months, you know, 20 months. So 0% interest. And like you said, for fix and flips, I'll give you an example. We just did one the other month, and I got 3 going on right now where business credit is all being utilized. So I have my main lender, But with fix and flips, you got your holding costs. Sometimes the renovation budget goes over budget. So I have my main lender who gave us the amount that we needed to buy the property and get started on the work. But in this space, there's always extra costs. So what did I do? I liquidated about 30 grand off my one Bank of America card. And boom, what is that coming into play? That's coming in with the interest payments I have each month from my lender, any extra costs, utility bills. If we run over budget, I got a reserve. And then what am I going to do once we sell that property? I might even keep that out because guess what? I got 14 more months of 0% interest. I can roll that liquid cash and do the next project and do the same thing.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah. And there's so many different things that you can do. Like you say, most of these business credit cards are going to be minimum 12 to 18 months at 0% interest. And there's so many different things that you can do. Whatever you may choose to do, you have $20,000 at 0% interest for 18 months. That's literally someone coming up to you and saying, hey, here goes $20,000. Do whatever you want to do with it. Just pay me back in 18 months. Just $20,000.
You could change your life.
Absolutely.
You could change your life. And another thing I noticed too, business credit cards usually start off at a higher credit limit than personal.
Yes, sir.
Just in my experience alone. I mean, I was amazed because here I'm struggling when I first started to get, a $12,000 credit limit on my Capital One card, and Bank of America right off the bat with a brand new business approved me for 20 grand. I'm like, what? Yep. And I call in, every 60, 90 days and ask for a credit increase, and boom, I get it every time.
Yep.
Every time. So, I mean, it's free money right now. And people there. So there was no excuse for us not to, build our business. And, we're getting free financing for it. So, I mean, it's been game changing in the real estate space once we figured that out. So, yeah, man, it's powerful stuff, and it's super easy. I mean,
very, very easy.
Yep. And I just my sister, and I'm teaching my sisters about it, and I had them call in, and they got a credit increase, and teaching them a little bit about it. So it's cool, man. Helping out the people that you love, and changing lives.
That's the most important thing, man, is actually elevating the people around you and changing their life.
Yeah.
Because it's nice to get in it for the money and different things like that, but what's going to have more of a lasting impact?
It's a legacy, bro.
Yes, sir.
Here to change it. So dive into a little bit. Tell everybody about your Reinvented mentorship, your consulting program. Like what do you go over when somebody joins? What should they expect if they're interested in learning more?
Man, it's so much in there, bro.
I know. Over 30,000 foot view here, man, because it's crazy.
Yeah, it's literally, and not to throw shade at anyone's other mentorship.
I want to shade, bro.
I mean, I don't want it to come off like that.
Yeah, no, good.
Most of the time, whenever you join these mentorships, you get access to the mentor, or you get access to the content for 8 sessions over the course of 30 days.
Yeah.
But some classes you may not be able to get on. Some classes you may not fully grasp what they're going over. And what I seem to realize is that whenever I did that, I didn't really like it, because I may have a question and you're with a whole bunch of other people and their questions get answered, and then they have to end the call for whatever reason.
It's like being in college.
It's like being in college, and then once the class is over with, the bell rings, it's time to go. And then you never really get to revisit the question that you had, and then you can't reach out to them because they're busy and they have their own personal lives going on. So what I did with my mentorship is, first off, we literally go over everything. I don't know a topic, minus trucking, that we haven't went over. We have over 30 calls that we went over, just complete different topics. Different people come on, and some people may learn better from one individual than they learn from another one. So the mentorship is going to go over anything from personal credit to business credit, of course, manufactured spending. That's what we live and die by.
That's the bread and butter.
Yes, so that's the bread and butter right there. Literally how to raise your credit limits, how to get credit limit increases, how to travel for free, how to essentially live for free. Literally everything is covered as far as that portion. And we have all type of other stream of income calls. I just had a call last night with exotic rentals. We have a real estate call. We have fix and flips. We have literally everything. But back to what I was hitting on is that it's a lifelong mentorship. we're on, and a lot of people say like, bro, how are you still
Crazy value.
how are you still going? And we've been going on different topics since October, I want to say.
And growing. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, bro, that's literally extra stream of income calls. If you want to start up business owners, entrepreneurs, if you're on the fence about any mentorship that you want to join, come join the family. I shouldn't even call it a mentorship. I should actually probably call it a family, bro, because
It's a community. No, man, it's crazy. I didn't know what to expect, and literally every topic, obviously credit, manufactured spending is the main thing, but I mean, you do a phenomenal job. I mean, that's the most impressive part, the guests that you get. I mean, big names in the industry, the biggest, almost every Tuesday and Thursday you do live calls. And we got the Facebook group, we got, files, recordings. I mean, and like you said, it's a lifetime community that you've built up in such a short amount of time. The value in it, you're getting a doctorate. I put that in the description for today's show. You get a doctorate in financial literacy, man. It's amazing. It's stuff I didn't learn in my, what was it, 16 years of structured education. So crazy value. I mean, if you just want to apply yourself, and you're killing it, man. So
I appreciate it, King. And like I
yeah.
said, man, because this field is constantly changing with new credit cards coming out. And the thing about this is the number one thing that I tell people is that you can invest in a mentorship, but if you only have access to it for 30 days and then the credit card issuers issue a new credit card with certain data points, you need to be the first wave in it to understand this. So, for example, the PSECU play, that's a play that that a lot of people went and they ran the play. If you were in the mentorship, you would have got on very quick. Now they've kind of tightened up restrictions on it because so many people went out, ran the play. Now they got the number of applicants that they wanted. Now it's harder to get in.
Bro, it's like when the market shifts, the world shifts, it changes. I mean, it's a whole industry, so things change, and I mean, we stay up to date, obviously, and we're ahead of the curve, being in the right rooms like this. So, yeah, I mean, especially now, like you said, I think it's important to buckle down, learn about credit, learn about finances in itself, because you're going to need a couple options, or at least have that, if you need it, when the time's right. So, listen, bro, parting words. We'll wrap this up. I told you I keep it under 45 minutes. Anything you want to leave? Anything you want to leave us with, man?
Man, applied knowledge is one of the best things that you can do. Mindset, what you tune into, you turn into. What entertains you, trains you. And I got a quote that I wrote down here that I want to leave everybody with.
Okay.
So it's something that I want everyone to think about. And I heard I want to shout out to the guy Wall Street Trapper, because he drops a lot of game. Mm-hmm. He said the opportunities that you don't take advantage of become obstacles for the next generation.
Ooh.
The opportunities you do take advantage of becomes leverage for the next generation.
Oh, damn. I got to digest that, man. That's deep.
That's deep, bro.
That's thinking way out, man.
Yes, sir. So once again, you are in these rooms with the people, you're networking, you are around like-minded individuals. I always take advantage of an opportunity whenever it's presented to you.
Yeah, and it's bigger than you. I mean, it could make waves, for not only your future, but your family's future, generations to come. I mean, just a little bit of action, in the right rooms.
Absolutely.
Powerful, bro. Yes, well, listen, bro, had a blast, man. We freestyled it. We got into a little bit of everything. It's exactly what I wanted, man.
Appreciate you, King, for having me, bro. It's a pleasure to be on the show.
100%, man. We'll talk soon, all right?
Yes, sir, King.
See ya.
See you.